Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Dude, seriously, grab a drink, because you are not going to believe the absolute circus I have survived. I've dropped hints over the years about my wife's family being difficult, but I've never given you the full story. Honestly, it's taken me 5 years just to process the trauma without wanting to punch a wall. But now the statute of limitations on my silence has expired. This is the story of the birth, the stroke, and the absolute psycho that is my mother-in-law. My wife is a saint, but she had to be to survive her childhood. Her family is a cult of personality, and the personality is her mother. We've been married 15 years, and the entire dynamic is terrified people dancing around this woman's moods. She hated me from day one. Back when we were dating, she'd literally tell people at church, loud enough for me to hear, that she was praying my wife would find a new boyfriend soon. But the real nightmare started 5 years ago. We were pregnant, finally. We spent 6 months prepping like we were training for a marathon. Classes, books, doulas. We had a birth plan focused on avoiding a C-section unless it was life or death. Due date comes, we go for a checkup, and the doctor's face drops. There's no amniotic fluid left. Bone dry. The placenta is tapping out. They admit us immediately for induction. And then my wife made the single biggest mistake of her life. She allowed her mother into the delivery room. Letting my mother-in-law into the delivery room was a disaster. Labor was 36 hours of agony. My wife was delirious, but instead of support, we got the Mill show. In the middle of it, she pulls me into the hallway and hisses, she needs a C-section. I told her no, the doctors said it was safe, but she scoffed at me like I was a toddler. She went back in and started lobbying the doctors for surgery like she was passing a bill in Congress. Then while my wife is in the throes of a contraction and I'm whispering encouragement, Mill points a finger at me and screams, "I want this over with now. Shut up, marketing dad." She literally screamed at me to shut up during the birth because she was tired of waiting. We survived. Baby was born beautiful and stable. Mill was furious we didn't do the surgery, but suddenly switched gears to parade random coworkers into our recovery room while my wife was still bleeding. We went home thinking the worst was over. We were wrong. A week later, we noticed our newborn rhythmically twitching. We rushed to the ER, tests, scans, needles. The doctors came back and told us the words no parent ever wants to hear. Your baby had a stroke, a massive stroke, seizures. Our week-old infant was fighting for life, and they admitted us immediately to the NICU. Our 1-week-old baby was in the NICU, hooked up to a spiderweb of wires after a massive stroke. It was a place of hushed beeping and absolute terror. We were sleep-deprived and traumatized, terrified we were going to leave with an empty car seat. And then my mother-in-law arrived. You would think seeing your grandchild fighting for life would humble you. Nope. She stood over the oxygen box, looked at our seizing child, then at my weeping wife, and said, "This is your fault." She ranted, "If you had just gotten the C-section like I told you, this wouldn't have happened. You caused this." Then she dropped the nuke. "You are throwing away the entire family. None of the family will ever talk to you again." My wife collapsed. The nurses almost called security. My father-in-law just stood there, a spineless husk. He watched his wife destroy his daughter over the body of his sick grandchild and did nothing but defend her. We spent 10 days in hell. Eventually, the doctors figured it out. The failing placenta had thrown a blood clot before labor even started. It was random and unavoidable. A C-section wouldn't have changed a damn thing. The baby recovered miraculously. But the damage to our souls was permanent. Once we were safe at home, we sat Mill and Phil down. We wanted an apology for kicking us while our baby was dying. Their response made me want to burn the world down. We sat down with my in-laws, asking for an apology for how they treated us in the NICU while our baby was having a stroke. We explained how hurt we were that she blamed us for the medical emergency. Mill looked at us deadpan and said, "I don't remember saying any of that." She claimed the trauma of the NICU was just too much for her, so she blacked out. She took no accountability and positioned herself as the victim of our trauma. And then my father-in-law delivered the line that ended our relationship forever. My wife was crying, explaining the fear she felt almost losing her child, and her father looked at her and said, "Whatever pain and fear you're feeling, it's nothing compared to that of a grandmother." Can you believe that? He told a mother who almost lost her baby that her pain was less than the grandmother's. That was it. We didn't just burn the bridge, we nuked it from orbit. We realized these people are incapable of love, only control. We went extremely low contact after that. It's been 5 years, we barely speak to them. My kid is doing great, totally fine. But I still have nightmares about the beeping in that NICU and the sound of that woman's voice blaming us. That's why we don't go to Thanksgiving anymore.